Yes, and we're live. Hello, good evening, and good morning, everyone. And good morning, Hugo. I know it's morning for you.
No, it's fine. Good morning, everyone.
Well, and good evening, everyone. I know there is a bunch of people from the other side of the world where it's still like the other day.
Time
So,
zones.
yeah, exactly. So, hi everyone, guys. And if you're here for the hair session, you're definitely in the right place. My name is Maria JD. I'm here with Hugo Sena. And
Hey guys.
I probably never pronounced the name correctly. I'm aware, right?
That's fine. It's actually my name has been pronounced weirdly by anyone and everyone, so it's fine. At one point, I'm just like, accept it. It is my name.
Yeah,
Do whatever
exactly.
you want
Okay.
with it.
Cool, cool. All right. So, as some people are still joining because we just sent an announcement right now about the stream. So, let's quickly go through agenda for today. What are we doing today? We're doing some hair, right? We're doing some
Yeah,
pretty stylized or realistic. What are we on today?
mostly stylized. I I will try to cover maybe like bit of realistic stuff, but I don't know if I have the time because we're like short on time. So I will try to first show what I do for stylized there, and it converts really well to what Farid is doing as a base. So if you follow like Farid's stream before, it's a good base to actually like visualize the ad that you're gonna do, but on your ZBrush scalpel.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I think it is. I actually really like your methodology and how it
Thank you.
looks eventually, on the character. I also like it that it's really quick, to implement. That like
Yes.
we always have like some really pretty, already solid looking result that you can visualize in a character. Um, and actually, just also curious, who's here for the first time for the stream? Do we have any first timers whatsoever? It's a little bit of an experiment with us in terms of time zone. So
For
we
real.
typically stream in different hours, and I'm curious if anyone is here for the first time ever at any of our streams. So let's see if we have any first timers and. Yeah, meanwhile, do you actually want to add your screen here?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, we can do that. And meanwhile, you're doing this, I actually wanted to use the couple of minutes to do a little announcement that um, we've got one more stream scheduled in the next 24 hours, and I believe about five more streams, five or six. Oh yes, I will put one first timer. Okay, so it's mostly veterans. We love you guys. We love first timers. We love the veterans.
Hey,
Marlon is
Marlon.
around. He's yeah, amazing. So hi, Imagination Studio first timer. It made GMT +8. That's definitely the first timer. And Avril, hi Avril. Cool. Glad to have you. Yeah, thank you, Pete. We've got five more streams this week. And in about 12 hours from now, don't know if you guys and girls are still awake, but in about 12 hours from now, we're going to run the stream on hard surface. And
Ooh.
our contributor and junior artist, Ben Courtney, is going to run a stream on modeling a gun. So we're going to model this really cute and impressive gun. Also, we'll try to do it really fast and show you guys how to do all of this process. I think it's mostly ZBrush. So if you're into hard surface or would like to get more into hard surface, that's definitely a good start. So yes, but meanwhile, we're still on hair. And
Yes.
yes, I let Hugo do most part of it. Do you want me to share your screen? Let me know.
Uh, yeah, I've already shared my screen. I'm just like looking for the reference right now because last time I found a reference to show you guys to just walk you through how I do the air, and I was just looking through it. So you saw my awesome and bad reference folder right there.
Well,
So
that's
okay, let's go and let's roll with it. If at one point there's a kid walking in the room, it's my kid. They are prepping
well, I
themselves
can
to go
say
to
the same,
school.
you know, I can have a selection of kids walking around.
Okay, so
We're not
it's
kidnapping other people's kids to walk in our streams.
to feel like we have kind of a life. No, we do have real lives. It is okay.
Definitely.
I think it's like
Also, by the way,
certain.
like
Yeah.
I think there is a need of disclaimer. They're not the same kids that gonna walk in the room.
No.
I mean, in your room and in my room, they're gonna be different kids.
Yeah. Obviously.
Definitely different geographies here. All right,
Yeah.
let's go.
I'm updating it. Okay, let's go. So it's the so let's. It's a morning. I'll rewind. Okay, so my name is Hugo. I'm a lead character artist. Actually live like near Africa, and I'm working for a company in Montreal. So if you guys saw Marlon's Nomad Talk on Monday, I guess I'm the prime
Yeah,
example of
Marlon is doing another
nobody.
talk on Sunday. Yeah, Sunday,
Sunday,
Monday,
yeah.
something like this. Yeah,
I am a
Monday night.
prime example of nomading my art because I live like 18,000 kilometers from the place I should be working uh, in, which is it has some nice stuff to be and some weird stuff to be. Like I was saying, like I'm Marlon twin. Great. Everybody keeps saying I look like Marlon.
That's everybody keeps saying this. That's so true.
So this is the third time I'm running this workshop, and every time I'm finding some new stuff, and every time I try to show some new stuff. So today we don't have much time, so mainly I will be focused on ZBrush and everything because I can show stuff in Blender if I have the time because I'm using a lot of Blender and I'm using Blender in production, which is absolutely usable, like actually for making a game. So if you guys want to use Blender, it's absolutely like a normal tool because at the end of the day, it's all tools. And usually I start by showing a bit of about what I'm doing as hair. So what I like the most is doing like long and flowy hairs. I think like it gives a lot of character and silhouette to your character that you're gonna make. Like make use of like this in ZBrush. So you can see the mass of hair is actually giving a lot to the silhouette right there. And right tries have something that looks cool, like in every angle, you know. And it feels complicated, but it really isn't. It's just about like going little by little and just trying to find the shape that you want. I'm gonna run you through the technique that I use, which are very simple. There's no like external plugins or anything. All very old tools that are in ZBrush for like forever. And I have some other example, like this one that was like in on the mainly shown. You can see like how much this is giving to the character right there. It's giving like a lot of sense of movement, which is great when you're doing like static character. But you can use it a lot when you're doing like T-pose character that you want to animate later. Which on this case is right there. This one I haven't shown before. It's an old character, and you see, I still gives a lot of shapes. You know, I've got like this very anime-like flowing type of hair, which it worked perfectly. So for this character, for example, I wanted to have something a bit more like uh, what's been done in Guilty Gear, like the very anime-like shader. So I've tried some different technique, but at the end of the day, you can see like it's very simple and it's the same technique that I use for every type of hair. And one of the latest character I did was this one. And then again, you know,
Yes,
it's
I
very weird. Like,
love this one.
thank
I'm
you.
not supposed
It's
to be
a
talking.
you can see like I haven't. It's like very weird. It's square shaped and everything. Because what I wanted to do is actually I did not care about the fact that it was like very faceted and low in terms of polygon. Because what I was seeing in my mind was just something like this, and you know the shape was good and everything was like these kind of things give a lot of character. And I was just playing with okay, some red hair, it's great. I can get some blue hair and I can get some purple hair, and yeah, I built the hair for that purpose, and it's that why it's very low poly. So how do we start? Because ton of layering, ton of hair, but where is the start? So far, I'm gonna run you through in real time. Just gonna show like how it's starting. Right now, this is what I had before. A small. Oh, there's a lot of hair right now. Sorry. Oh, there's a lot of hair. Oh, let me show you just this one. This is what I had before. But this is weird. This is like just a sphere that I sculpted um to actually like find like a bit how it would look on the character, you know. And this is what I had at first. I was like, oh, this is getting kind of cute. This is like a bit how I want. And then I started playing with this and just I don't know if I have it right now. Maybe it got lost in my 55, 57 subtool of hair right now. But you know, once I had like the base like this, and I knew I wanted to go with this, I started just layering my hair little by little. You know, and it's very
Mhm.
easy. And it's very simple. You know, big shapes, and everything is just going. You know, little by little. Um, for
Hugo, do you
the
prefer questions right away, or you want
yeah, I
me
could.
to save them for Q&A because we have questions like that we like starting? So
Yeah,
whatever you
as I
prefer.
I can like run some question at the same time that I'm just showing right now. So I don't do much 3D printing. I know this type of thing is like super dangerous for 3D printing, and even like uh, this
Yeah.
one, I know I perfectly know the air will be too messy for 3D printing because you can see there's a lot of like issues right there,
How?
interconnection,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
right there, this is not gonna work well. But that was like holder. That was like when I first started like trying my technique, and and yeah, it's very messy. You know, I made some mistake. Everything is just one mesh. It's just one single dynamesh, which is not something I recommend doing. But for this guy, for example, it's actually the same way as the girl that I showed before, because you know I started with this, just with this, you know. Yeah, this is a bit
Yeah.
less fun to watch, but this is like a really good example of how it's starting. You know, very simple tubes and spheres just to get the shape right, and then you're just gonna refine the shape. And I think it's absolutely the same for this one. Maybe maybe I have the air somewhere, maybe not. But you can see like my process. Yeah, I have a base right there, small base, very small base.
Ah, okay.
You know, but it gave me like this because I wanted to know how it will go with the air like on the side, right? And that was just a test, and you know, I was confident enough. Yeah, the air looked great. Um, what's cool with this technique is right now I can still go ahead and select every part of the air, you know, and just modify them if I want. Just like go ahead and just change, yeah. And if at one point I'm not satisfied with X and Y shape of it, I can just go ahead and move it again, you know. And it's super easy for me, and I can just tweak them until I am bored of the project. Usually that's what
Right.
happens. It's not I'm not satisfied. I'm just getting bored of the project. You know, so uh, this is how it would go uh, for hair. So the main thing, the yeah, you, you
So
were
that
gonna
was,
ask
yeah, that
something.
was the quick answer for 3D printing.
Yes, I don't do much 3D printing, so I wouldn't really know. I would go less messy and more something like this character, you
Actually,
know.
you know, I think I have the answer for 3D printing people here because that's something that we get asked a lot about 3D printing hair, actually. And like we answer this question, I think, quite thoroughly on the 3D printing program, actually. And actually, I also, if you don't mind, I'm just going to show a quick example here about working with hair in 3D printing. Just like really quick, because Marlon recently, well, not recently, but I believe like about a year and a half ago, 3D printed this model just also to showcase a little bit of hair. I'm just going to quickly share my screen to make an illustration
Please
of what
do.
happens with hair when it's 3D printed. So this is a 3D printing program that we run. But the model that I wanted to show you guys is this surfer girl. So this is how it looks like. And
This model
I
is
mean,
great.
yeah, from this angle, you don't really see hair well, but I think from this angle, it's a little bit better. So basically, this hair, when modeled, it was very similar to what Hugo was showing right now. It's like really messy. It's like surfer hair, but eventually there is a quite straightforward technique on how to make the mesh work, and eventually it worked really nicely. So don't be afraid of sculpting hair. In the end of the day, you can really adapt any model to 3D printing. Like, yeah, that's just I wanted to show, like, don't be afraid of like, just letting your imagination flow. And yeah, I'm gonna stop my screen. If We also actually have a bunch of free pre-recorded 3D printing workshops. If you want to do like a quick start, I'm not sure if we have covered hair entirely, but there is definitely a tester introduction to like how to adapt your hair for 3D printing. So happy to share the link to free workshops. And I can also send everybody like a $50 discount for 3D printing program, in case anybody wanted to do this one, because it's just like always available on demand with some support. So yeah, I'm just going to share a link here to the program and to like free workshops. Oh, sorry. Shall I add your screen again with your messy
Let's go
references?
back. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I had the
So sorry,
time
we
to
got
find the
distracted. We got
reference.
sidetracked a little bit on 3D printing side, but
It's
just wanted to
fine.
make sure we answer, because we always get asked about like 3D printing hair all the time.
Yeah, and I'm not like big on 3D printing anyway.
Yeah. Well, we
I
we built a
wish.
program with Martin Verhoeven, who is really big on 3D printing,
He is.
and yeah, like I've seen a lot of beautiful models printed on that one. Anyways, back to you, Hugo.
So it's a prime example of how it looked like what I'm
Mhm.
doing here. It's
Oh
just like
wow.
bunch of random stripes, and everything is like a single stripe of hair. Because it's easier for me at the end of the day to work like this, and because I want to be able to go back and redo it if I want, as I was saying. And I think it's the same for every character, right? They're not there right now. Most of the subtool are hair. If I expose again, and for this one, it's just gonna be the same. Um, you know how much hair there is. So how am I? What I do for that? So I'm gonna go ahead and my reference is an elf, so I'm gonna take like you guy right there and walk you through some hair if you want. Fun. Okay, let me happen like my body right there. Obviously, let's say for work. When when I'm at work, we're on the stream, which is kind of work, but I get to show and do some weird stuff. Okay, so this is like, okay, this is my hair. This is what I want to work on, and this is gonna be like the reference. So once again, flowy type of hair, because it's better than just like a single like bob cut and go ahead. So first of all, like the most important thing is like analyzing what you're gonna do, because it's easier to get lost when you're working on air. For it's the same for everything, but I think air is usually one big mass, and you can easily get lost into what am I gonna do with this. So
Mhm.
usually what you can do is get, okay, so where are my primary shape and what am I doing with this? So I can get, okay, so this is one right there. So this is one of the I don't remember the word, like in French is mesh. It's, let's say, one part of the air, and you can see like there's gonna be like another one right there that I can like use, and another one right there, and you can draw and detach the air like this if that's easier for you. I know I've kind of stopped doing it because I do it like in my head, but I still go through the process of analyzing like my reference and how it's flowing. And you can see it's always flowing. There's no like straight air like this. It's always like the flowing like this or flowing like this. And that's what is giving like all of this nice shape around the character. Because right, it's in that way. Same for here. And now I made a very cool drawing. So I've analyzed my reference and I have like kind of an idea of where the art is coming from and what it's going to, following like the movement of the character. So what I would do then is just append a sphere in ZBrush and use that as my main drive. So the sphere is gonna help me like try and reproduce the main shape, the main body of work for the air. So I'm gonna move, and as usual, put the sphere on the head of your character, and it's always fun because you get like some weird thing. And right away, I'm gonna go and use the move. No, I'm gonna use my one of my favorite brush, which is the snake hook brush. And some people hate that brush, and I love it because it's perfect for this type of flowing work. So it's a BSH. That's the command for the snake hook, and I'm gonna start like pushing and pulling the air. So try and put the face in the same direction, and let's go ahead and okay. So one part will go that way, and it's weird, but you don't care. You just go ahead and go into geometry and dynamesh. Go ahead and dynamesh it, maybe a bit higher. Okay, and yeah, it's good. It's good enough. And right now I can just modify it again. I will go, okay, so the first part, I need to have like the main shape, which I think come from the back. So I'm gonna just go ahead and move the back that way and have how it's flowing. And first rule of 3D, it's always gonna look bad at first. So you need to get that into your head, so that way when it's looking bad, it's just the beginning. And I'm just gonna go and adjust a bit the air right there. And yeah, starting to flow. Nice. I know there's like more air that goes, so that's a good proof also to see like if it's gonna work with your sculpture. Okay, just gonna do that. And I'm just gonna slowly, build the air. And at one point, if I feel like this is getting a bit messy, I'm working with my mouse right there. Um, the more the older I get, and the older I get like as an artist, the more I work with my mouse in ZBrush. Just like counterintuitive, but and my keyboard is, ZBrush. Come on, start working. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start working with clay buildup. Is also a brush that I use a lot. So I'm gonna just try and get the right shape on the forehead, because it looks a bit weird. So what's cool is you need to not be afraid to work dirty now and make some mistake and make something that won't look good. Just wait a second. I think I've got my window ink enabled, and that's an issue because it's making my brush palette not working. So yes, that should be better. Right. So yeah, you need to not be afraid of making something that looks absolutely horrendous, because it's fine. It's really fine making something that looks bad at first. got the point. The whole point of it is actually making it look good. So, right now I don't know much about 3D printing, but I think this could be like 3D printed and not like cause too much mistake.
Yeah,
But
I bet at this stage, yeah. Probably you need to work on these tips a little bit depending on the scale.
true. Um, okay, so this is something I'm just gonna go ahead and duplicate it just for the sake of trying to see like, okay, I'm gonna get a second shape right there. And you see how I'm working, I'm moving, everything is intersecting. And the most important thing is that I really don't care. I just need to see a bit how the shape is working. And right, this is like, this should be worrying, but it's really not, because I'm never gonna keep this thing. So, I'm just trying. I see like, this is starting to maybe be interesting, in terms of shapes and everything. And I know this is no. Uh, I felt that what I would do, but right now I kind of I'm used to how I work and this type of workflow. So I'm like, I know it's gonna work even like without doing a full sketch of the just do the thing, dynamesh, do the thing, dynamesh, and yeah, just do that for a while, and at one point you're gonna get something that kind of look like the concept and make you confident enough that you can start and start working on the haircut. Just gonna go ahead and maybe put my standard brush and refine some of this to see like, okay, so this is, I'm going on the right direction right there. And yeah, that's the whole point of this first phase, let's say. It's gonna go that way, and there's gonna be like air flowing that way. I'm just giving direction. Right now it's like mental notes about what I'm gonna do or what I need to do, and go back to the snake hook again and just like put and put. But you can see like the power of the snake hook when it comes to making curved things, because look at how nicely it's gonna deform. And I know it's like pushing and pulling the geometry, the pure geometry a lot. Like he's doing this kind of thing, and it's fine, because you can always go ahead and like smooth it or use like the secret smooth or the secret sauce, I don't know. And that's like pushing shift and starting smoothing and just um, like letting shift go. And it's actually gonna relax the mesh without trying to touch much about the shape, because the normal smooth is just like destroying everything, and this smooth is actually trying to it's trying to retain the shape as much as it can, but sometimes it just can't, because like you destroy the mesh too much. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm like, yeah, totally look alike, job's done, I can go ahead and grab a beer. No, we have one more step, and this is the step where everything's gonna come alive, which I'm gonna use the clay, no, not clay tube, the curve tubes. Why curve tube? Because curve tube is amazing. So curve tubes is B for brush and C for curve, and I think it's 9. Oh, yeah, it's 9, like this one. 999. What the hell? ZBrush. Okay, so curve tube, not a snap, the curve tube. The curve tube snap is gonna snap to. I'm gonna show you. It's gonna snap to the surface and everything, but it's gonna do like some weird stuff like this. What I want to do, hey Farid, it's actually 7 for me right now, so obviously I look good. But Maria, she's like a birdie.
Shut up. I look good anytime, really.
That's the best answer.
Bring it on. At some point this week, people are gonna see me streaming it like at 1, at 2, not at 3, but it's probably the only hour I'm missing.
So I'm gonna get like the curve tube. So why do I get a curve tube? I don't want any snapping. I'm just gonna go ahead. My root is there. Gonna try the shape like I show, and boom, I get my curve. So this is the start. Actually, kind of never modify my hair strand when I have like the curve option. I could, But I really don't like it because it's moving my base too much, and I don't want it. So I'm just gonna try to adjust and get like a shape that fits. This one is good. And let's go ahead and delete. So if you don't know what deleting the curve is, it's in stroke and curve right there, and no curve functions. Maybe yeah, curve function delete, and you can put it as a personal like UI, custom UI. I did the curve, and right there, this is what I get, and that's where I'm gonna get my BSH, my snake hook. I'm gonna just go ahead and modify the air shape so it's actually looking like what I did. I'm just gonna smooth the tip. I really don't care. You can smooth it. You can BPI, which is pinch. You can pinch the shape right there. I'm just gonna separate them. So shift, control, select, and you go ahead and split hidden. So that way this is split from the rest of the mesh. You can show everything. And now I can start and, I could, if I want, pinch it. So, it's actually look like more like a air strand. And, good. I have an air. It's flowing. It's beginning. So now what I'm doing is usually I could go ahead and layer more or just try and get it to look good. My personal rule of thumb is I'm trying to have a flow from any direction. Because right now this is straight and I'm not liking it. Because at one point, if I want to render my character in another pose or in another view than this one, I still need the air to look good. So what I do is usually I try to have a curve in every angle. So right now, if I look that way, I have a curve right there. So this is good. If I go that way, I kind of have a curve. So I'm gonna just push it right there. I have a curve. If I look like this angle, no curve. I'm just gonna put a slight curve right there. And just some slight things so that way when you look at your hair, it's just gonna look good in every angle, like in the movies, you know. So yeah, I have like my first trend. This is good. What I can also do is, start modifying it a bit. I could control D at the one subdivision and B DS, which is gonna be like the time standard. And I'm gonna just add a bit more definition to the air, just so it feels a bit more like some, there's something very, very tiny right there. And this is like the most time consuming thing you're gonna do with air. By the way, air is very time consuming. That's the way it is.
We
Everything is
learned
time
this just
consuming.
like a little bit, yeah, a few hours ago with Farid
Yeah, so for
about
it,
hair being time consuming. Yeah, thanks, Farid.
it is. It's like super time consuming, but at the end of the day, air is such an important part of everyone. Like if nobody had air, it would feel very weird when you look at people. You're so accustomed to see hair and haircut, and it's part of someone's face. It's just not like it's not an accessory. It's actually part of the face, which is like some that's why you don't recognize some people when they cut their hair or they change the haircut because you know that person because they also have this type of hair like the eye color and everything. This is actually like part of the memory you have of someone's face, so that's why it's important. And look at this with a too small curve and me like talking shit. I just started to have a nice shape. And what's cool with this is I can reuse what I did right now. So I have maybe like it's one. So I'm just gonna then duplicate it, put it right there, maybe a bit smaller. And BSH again, I'm just gonna move it. Right. Underneath, you know, and there you go. And in another one. Oh, sorry. That's my phone. Smile off, I'm absolutely sorry for that. Okay, so this is done, and I can just duplicate it again, and have it like flowing in another way. Damn it, sorry.
You're fine. Do you still have stationary phone?
Yes.
Oh my God, you're the first person I know who has a stationary
Look
phone.
at that. I got the future and the past right in my hands. Sorry. Go back to the workshop. See, so right now, already look at how good this is looking. I'm amazed. It's like even me, even I'm surprised. You know, few tweaks here and there, and you're already like good to go. And do not care about air going through the head because uh, I'm not 3D printing, so I already don't care about it. Um, and just I'm gonna modify it a bit. So still the snake hook. You see how easy it is to me to modify the shape because if I use the normal uh, the normal move, it's the way it's moving is a bit different. And I usually use a normal move when I'm fine tuning the way the air should do. But right there, I'm just gonna go ahead and do maybe smaller. And right there, there's a also some air. So what I can do is just mirror what I did and just append it as a new subtool. It's gonna go right over there and just put it right there. I should make another model because I keep showing some elf head every time. And people will think I have a weird king for elf, which is true. Sorry. I'm just gonna put that way and that right there, and I'm just slightly modifying it, and yeah, I've got like this on this side, and just boom, very easy. Now I need to do like the big ones on the side, so I'm just gonna go back to my curve tube right there, and just go ahead and flow the thing, boom. Okay, I delete the curve. I'm going to just put this BPI for the pinch, so just this kind of thing. And then BSH, I'm just going to move it right there, you know, big the big move in the center. And sometimes that's what might happen if you modify too much with the snake. Like, look at how much like this is getting deformed, and you're like, yeah, what do I do with this? Well, it's very easy. You just like go ahead and smooth it. When you smooth, when you're using like this technique and you're gonna smooth, it's gonna like reduce the size of it. But if you use the secret sauce, well, secret smooth, and it's actually like gonna give it back some of the shape it had before. Boom, sausage. So do whatever you want with this. I'm using both of them like to try and get some of the air, some of the detail, the polygon that are right there, I smooth so it goes like along the curve right there, and same for here, and just modify it again. At one point, I'm just gonna go ahead and maybe smooth it so I just get some more definition. But anyway, where was I just before? Yeah, I was like right there. I'm starting to get some nice shape. I can go ahead and maybe scale it a bit on the whichever axis. It's a bit fatter that way. And yeah, I can go ahead and you can also like if you want just control and move it just to duplicate if you want. Um, it's not that I wouldn't recommend it. It's just like it's gonna make another mesh on the same mesh. So if you want to keep things kind of clean, this might not be something for you. But when you want to work fast, it's kind of easier than just going to duplicate and everything. So once again, the choice is yours. And I'm just gonna give you like some technique to work with. But rather, I'm gonna just make this guy maybe that's flowing that way. And what I like with this one, it's actually like feeling that it's flowing around a lot. So trying to give some shape. here and there, BSH, get this that way, move it again, smooth it so I retain some of the shade that I had before. It's always looping back after, so let's just make it loop back. And you can see it's just like, it's not like brain consuming because I can talk, I can like do all of those other stuff, like watch a movie, do something. Just about like finding the shape and just slowly building every strand, and then you can slowly after that just build smaller strand and everything. Like for smaller strands, that's a good good thing too, because just let me finish this one. You go, let yourself finish what you do and talk. Okay, so you can see, keep trying to get the flow right. This one, is what I wanted to go with. And little by little, I'm getting what I want. I'm really not satisfied by this guy, but you know, how to say. So, if you guys have a question, that'd be fine. I can see some question. Yeah, Pete is right. Like a secret smooth is a shift click and release shift. And what you can also do is, some of, I'm gonna separate this. Once again, you click and you split it on. You can go ahead and like if you kept some of the sphere underneath and you like the shape that it gave you, you can just push it like this and sculpt on it directly, like Control D to have some definition. BDS to get like the damn standard. And I'm gonna like all of this small area right there. That's what I'm gonna do it with. So we just go and do like separation right there, and sculpt a bit. That's what I would do like for oil that are closer to the scalp, you know, because it's gonna be easier. Let's go ahead and this is gonna go that way. And this is how you, and this is like something you can do and refine little by little. You know. This is actually great, like this way of doing things from the sphere is great in production when you need to do some air for a character and you're still in ZBrush and you still need to see how it's gonna feel with the haircut because you can make or break your face depending on the haircut that you give the character. It's great to have like just a first touch base, like okay, so this is flowing nicely. This is actually what I want for my character, and then you can go ahead and uh, actually do it uh, either like in Exgen or with cards and everything. So also one secret thing is if you press Alt when you move, it's actually gonna move in the toward the direction of the normal. So you all know that every polygon has a normal, which is usually 90 degrees from the side of the polygon. So right there, uh, this guy normal is facing that way. Okay. So if I press like if I move, it's gonna move, but it's gonna use ZBrush screen as a 2D canvas, and it's gonna move on this X and Y axis, never in the Z axis. And if you press like Alt while you're moving, it's actually trying to move in the direction of normal. So if this guy direction is like right like this way, but like in the 3D space, you click on it and it's just gonna, I can't do anything, I can move my cursor in every way I want. It's just gonna move in the direction of normal. We can be like super useful, if you're doing spikes. Yeah. It's always going to follow the direction of normal, so no more second guessing or this kind of thing. And yeah, so BSH, I'm just going to get back to this and just going to move. So when you have like your whole haircut is done and you're really happy with it and you're like, what it's needed is just a bit more definition for the hair. Well, you can go ahead and do the same. Every hair strand is separated because you've been working that way. What you do is you duplicate it, move it slightly bit, and just go ahead and smooth it. You know, and now there I go. I've got like a tiny strand. Push it again. And there you go. You have like something smaller that still retains some of the shape that you gave and follow along. This one, and do the same, duplicate it. Could even go ahead and if you want pinch it, you know, and then just put it back where it was. So yeah, very simple stuff. All of the thing are already like in ZBrush. It's all like the base ZBrush tool. The only thing you need is actually like studying the concept. And as I could teach you actually how I made the effort to Snelder was the same way. Actually, I made a base and I just slightly tweaked it. And for the end result, I used a plugin in Blender to convert some of my hair to strands. Um, and on that topic, this question is actually really good because for another project, what you can do is you have this type of flowing hair, and what you can do is use ferrite technique. You go into Maya, you draw some curve over what you did right there, and you convert these curves to XGen, and then you get your flowy type of hair, but with XGen, which is absolutely amazing. You need to spend a bit more time. Like I think you could even like get some of these curves right there and these edges, and you can convert them into curves in Maya. So yeah, this technique can be a base for realistic hair. So I could go ahead and keep like sculpting until I get this as a sculpt, or I could go ahead and do all of my curve. And what's good is you've separated everything, so it's gonna be like super easy for you to work on every part of the hair. It's not gonna be like a whole mess. It's just gonna be you drawing curve on this curve, and then like you could have like I don't know around 1,000 XGen system because you will have every curve right there. You can combine them and have a base. That's really up to you or you want to work with the XGen. But once you have that, you can go ahead and drive the curve. It's gonna drive the curve, and then it's all gonna be like using XGen system and everything. For Blender, you need to use a plugin that's called Air Tool, which is amazing. It's already linked a lot in the Discord channel for art heroes. I don't think I have the time to show how it works right now, but I think I don't know if we have like some record of the time that I showed it, but it's a different way, but you can still use what you did right
I think
now.
we still have the recording that we can share of the previous workshop if you're
I think
very
I think
interested.
it was the first workshop I already
Yes,
showed how it was
yes, we
working.
can share that. It's not available on publicly, but we can share that.
And I can do another one just for that. As usual, like 1 hour is like wait, it's kind of not enough. But you go ahead and push and pull, and I could take any one of these guys. I could take her and like translate over the hair into XGen or like Blender hair system, and go from that. And for Tusnelda, what I did is actually same technique, more like it was more of a T-pose, but it's exactly what I taught you guys right there. I made a small base. I was like, yeah, this is looking good. And then I refined the base by making curves, by making tubes. And then I converted the tube into a system. I could have converted the tubes into curves and then XGen system too. So, just like, oh, I could have kept this kind of thing. So you're using your stylized base as a driver for whichever thing you're going to do. What's cool is you don't have to modify them like with what's called fiber mesh, because fiber mesh is very iffy and very weird to work with. So this will ask for you to have a bit more like suspension of disbelief and actually see what it's gonna do in your mind. But it's great because it keeps things simple before going into like rendering and everything of a or making like a gen or a particle system in Blender or anything. It's just gonna give you like a small and clean result, and you can keep the air like this. What's cool is you can actually do style as there, like you want the air to stay like Square Enix air and have like this kind of thing, but be rendered like as real air. But it's really easy. Everything's gonna follow the curve that you're making anyway. So that's what I like with this technique. And you can still do like stylize the air, like this one, which when you look at it, just like very easy. The same way, I think I can go back to the curve right there, same curve. Just gonna just refine it a bit more and using the same technique, I just gave it like a nice curve. And same for everything I did. And everything I showed you today has been like using this technique, That's them standard. This is like the snake hook brush, and this is like a bit of a pinch. And if I go ahead and subdiv, go and you see this is like still the same curve. So I think that's all for me right now. I think like Maria has some stuff to tell you.
Perfect. Yes, exactly. Well, actually, like we did a few announcements in the very beginning. Thanks, Hugo.
Yes,
That
we
was great
did.
as always. Well, let me just go back to our faces right here. And as we're wrapping up, I just wanted to remind everyone again that we've got like a lot of ground to cover. Oh my God, it's great to see some more people coming right now. I don't know if they're waking up or coming back home from like a night out or something. Either way, everybody's always welcome. And also, like welcome to everybody who's going to be watching this on replay. I'll make sure that we share this with a link to another workshop that we did with Hugo, where we did the full Blender technique that we didn't have time for today.
Yeah.
But that's, like that one was also pretty great. So for some other stuff, guys and girls, at 6 p.m. London time, which is 10 a.m. Pacific time, we're going to do another workshop of this series on hard surface, and that's going to be done by Ben Courtney. And I also wanted to remind everyone that we're still running an enrollment for mentorship program where we're teaching hair and everything about creating a full-on character actually in 3 characters. So this is still going on for this week, and there is an early bird discount just like until this Sunday. So quite a few people have already taken advantage of that, and we've got an amazing group of artists joining this. It's like a 9-month character program where we're going to be building 3 characters, one of them stylized and one of them likeness or realistic, and another one a character of your choice, to make sure you guys have a fully fledged portfolio, and to make sure that you talk to recruiters and ramp up all of your career skills as well. So to make sure you actually have the best chances to land the job by the time you're done with your 9-month experience. That's what I wanted to say. And as always, I'm going to shoot a link to the mentorship program so that everybody who is looking at taking advantage of the early bird can definitely do this. Here's the link in the chat. Ta-da, send. And the other thing that we have for another 3 minutes, Hugo, do we still have any questions that are unanswered? Well,
yeah, but
Javin
please
is
send me
asking
the question.
if you're going to teach the how to make hair for Sasnelda for like.
So that's what I was talking about like earlier. Right now, I wish I could show you what I did, but it's all in an archive. I zipped it, and it's like 20 gig, and it's gonna take too much time to show it. But I can show you like it's maybe something I'm currently doing. It's not really stylized, and it's not really realistic, and actually like use choose another face for it. And I'm doing the air the same way, you know. So I'm showing you that this technique is actually like that's what I'm using for any project that I do. You know, same technique right there. You know, I needed like to have some type of hair right there, and you know, it's like it was about to be something a bit more stylized or out of. So I really don't know what I'm doing with this, but what I do know is I'm using the absolute same technique for the hair, like for add some of this stuff right there. Actually, don't care, go away. You know, see this type of hair. It's actually the same technique, and that's for you to know it's something that you can use for everything, you know, and that help. What's cool is that you can modify it and keep it low and have some shape and try and, you know, these kind of
Yeah,
things. It can be
that's
a really
great.
pain. Thank you. And you know, like this is looking bad, but I really don't care for now. It's giving me like yeah, I don't know. It's just something like I'm just like I don't know what I'm doing, and it's good sometimes to just go ahead and shut off your brain, do something, and if it's looking bad, it's fine. Like nobody's gonna look at it. And you know, same. I did the same thing like for the tiny hair right there, and you know, I actually did the same thing for the arms. Same way of doing it. It's actually like the same way. I used like the curve tube and draw some curve right there and modify it so it felt like some horns. And then I just like dynamic it so it's all attached in one subtool. But I actually made the same way that I do hair. You can see like that's my jam of way of doing it. You know, you can see like this is the type of curve that I'm always doing, and you know it's working. So you can use it to do some horns, I guess. So yeah, it's actually very easy. Yeah, I even did it for this kind of thing. You know this select the thing, this modify the same way. I'm using like the snake hook a lot, and you'll see like when you use it the first time, it's very strong because it's at what it's at 100% the strength of it. But if you go ahead and put it at 55, it's already like super easier to control. And you can go ahead and do some tiny stroke that right this, you know, and get like the perfect curve. I think it's giving like a lot of great curve. And if you want like a bit more fun stuff, you can use the acute curve. And I don't remember where it's hidden, but you know, acute curve and this is like perfect to give this kind of pointy sci-fi look, you know. That's it's some angle right there. So I don't know. You get some Tetsuya Nomura hair that way. You know, flowy yet pointy everywhere hair. You
Hmm.
can get like this.
Cool.
So yeah, so this technique actually you can use it. It's just a technique anyway. What
Quick
you do with
question
it at
from
the end of
me.
it.
So,
Yes.
like, what's the time that you normally allow for hair on a personal project?
Until I am bored. Almost. So no, it's real.
Okay.
Until I have something that pleases me aesthetically. So it's not like until it's realistic or until it's like stylized or until X or Y. It's until I am satisfied with it. You need
Sounds
to
good.
like not perfect, satisfied, which is different because you know sometimes I'm just posting stuff online and it's not even like a render, just a ZBrush screenshot, and I really don't care. I'm just satisfied with my work. I'm just gonna show you like, oh, this is. I'm not just posting it for to sell me. I'm just posting it because I feel like oh, this is good enough. I'm satisfied with it. I'm gonna go on to something else. And you know, right there, I've got some ideas for the art. So this might change because I want some kind of like maybe huge um, ponytail, a really fat ponytail with some stuff in it. So maybe it's gonna change. At first, the hair was just going like right until near the shoulder, and then I
Hmm.
went and just get my brush and just go ahead and I push it and put it like so it went like a bit more over the breast area, which is non-existent, but you know that's yeah that's kind of how I did thing. And you know these even the spoiler right there, kind of the same technique, and go ahead and there you go. World of Warcraft folders
Pretty.
right there.
Hugo, two
See,
questions before we wrap
yes.
up, and then I let everyone go just to make sure that we're not like super over time. So there is a question on Sculptris Pro.
No,
Will you
I'm
use
not
it?
using it. I should try it, but every time I tried it, I sucked at it. So I'm like, yeah, no, I don't care anymore about Sculptus Pro. I'm not using it. I'm using like my good old curve tubes and everything. I should try it. The only thing with Sculptris Pro is, well, the thing is, with Sculptris Pro, I won't be able to use like the technique that I show on the other workshop with ZBrush, with Blender, because I need actually not huge, not dense topology for it to work. So that wouldn't work. And I'm kind of not used to. I know a lot of people love Sculptris Pro. I'm more used about like Dynamesh and remeshing than using Sculptris Pro. And it is absolutely better to post screenshot whips than nothing. Because very funny stuff. One of the thing I have one of my work that was in the Gnome gallery like a few years back when I was doing the ZBrush sculpt off, and it was kind of a sketch, and everybody loved it, which is very funny because I did that in like 2 hours, and like everybody lost their mind. It was like a badly rendered character that was like kind of a bust with like flowy hair, and everybody loved it. I was like, okay, so yeah, post your whip because you don't know who's watching. You don't know like, and if you
Exactly.
post like several whips, it's more quantity than just posting one final image. So maybe you're gonna get like more coverage, and people are gonna say, "Oh, this is a whip. This looks amazing. I'm gonna follow these guys." And then people like will start watching you, and like people will start messaging you like, "Oh, this look cool. Like, maybe do this or do that," or some people will be judging you like, this doesn't look like a character hall, you should do it in another way. But what's good is it's going to give you coverage, which is like crucial because right now everybody's like on the internet and everything, and you need to put yourself out there. And yeah, it's a whip, and yeah, sure, it might suck, but at least like you have the gut to show something, because if you don't, you're never going to show anything. So post whips. Plus, whips
Very
allow you
cool.
to say this is shit because it's a whip and it's gonna get better when it's final. Um, and it's not like, oh, this is final and it looks bad. No, so do the whip, post it.
Awesome. Awesome. Very cool, Hugo. That's great. So shall we start wrapping up a little bit? And
Yes, I'm already going over time as usual. I'm
that's
always going over
fine.
time.
That's totally fine. Yes. But yeah, this is cool. So thanks again, everyone, for joining the stream. And it was great having you. And thanks, everyone, for
Thank
watching the
you.
replay. That's we know. I know that for this unusual time, we're gonna have most people watching this on the replay, and it does not matter because even if we're not live, we're still with you. And
Yeah.
yeah, stream. Oh yeah, hi to Philippines. Thanks for watching. So make sure you keep joining what we're doing this week. We've got a bunch of character workshops coming up, and Ugo would love to have you back at some point. Maybe something we can just do like a
Invite
stream
me.
session on Blender.
Yeah.
Shall we do like
Yeah.
Blender here?
We
Like
could like
specifically.
just invite me. And if you guys have any question, I'm just usually hanging in like the Art Heroes Discord. Sometimes I'm just
Yes.
gonna post stuff, or like if you have any question, just tell me. If it's not a long question, just go ahead. It's fine.
Cool. Yeah, actually, that's a really good tip. Bite size your questions and shoot them. And also, if you use Ugo's technique and do something with it, we'd love to see your whips. And so we'd love to see it, for example, on Instagram or in Art Heroes Discord. But if you post it on Instagram, chances are we're going to repost it and show your work to a little bit more people. So just make sure that you tag Art Heroes. I would love to see what you do too. And if you make any use of this, that will be pretty awesome. We actually already have a whole collection of different hair from Ugo's students, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And also, Hugo recently did an internal workshop for Art Heroes likeness and stylized programs on render in Blender, and I heard
Yeah.
really, really good stuff about it. So, Hugo, it's always great
And
to
it
have
was
you teaching with
once
us.
again I did not have enough time. I ran
There is never
30
enough
minutes
time.
over
Don't worry.
time.
I'm not even thinking there's gonna ever be enough time.
No, there's not
So
enough time.
yeah, I think on this, having said that, we're good to go, and we're great. Like we're
Yeah.
good to start a new day, or like to everybody on the other side of the world, have a nice sleep. And I hope that was a good, a good night story about
Yes. I
hair.
hope you guys liked it. And like as usual, just put me Facebook,
Yeah.
anything. Just go ahead. Like if you have a question and you're like you feel very lost, just go ahead and shoot.
Yep. Shoot away. Alrighty, let's play the jingle, and I'll see you
See you
again this
guys.
week. Cheers.
Bring the funk.